Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the exalted one, the worthy one, the supremely enlightened one. Dear friends in the Dhamma, now we are going to listen to Dhamma, the Buddha's message. Whenever we listen to Buddha's message, actually that is a very fortunate moment that we receive in our life as the result of our previous good karma actions. When we listen to Buddha's message, we are able to understand about our life and the world. The more we understand the world, the more we can understand how suffering arises and how we overcome suffering. When we are going to listen to Buddha's message, having good friendship is very important. That is why the Supreme Buddha says, whenever we receive the good friendship, spiritual relationship, then we are able to listen to Buddha's message, and also we can develop our life, and also we can develop our inner peace. All the doctrines that the Blessed One explained for 45 years can be summarized into one sentence, which is that Sacitta Paryodapanam, purifying one's mind. Purification of mind is very, very important, since our happiness depends on purifying our minds. The more we purify our mind, the more we can receive our spiritual happiness, inner peace. That is why we listen to Buddha's message. As the result of having spiritual friendship, we have a chance to listen to what the Buddha taught. Then we can get the benefits throughout associating good friendship. When we listen to Buddha's message, the very first understanding that we receive is that understanding the karmic law. When we listen to Buddha's message, we can understand that when we do something with intention, we will have the same results. When our mind is impure and wicked, the results are pleasant, evil. Whenever we keep our mind pure and calm, we do activities physically, verbally, and mentally, those results are fruitful or pleasant. In this situation, we understand Mano Pubbangama Dhamma, Mano Setta Manomaya. Mind is the forerunner, mind is chief, mind made are they. If we do something with a wicked mind, physically, verbally, or mentally, the results are impure, the results are unpleasant. And also, if we do something with a pure mind, as the purification of mind, our activities are correct, and also the results are also pleasant, correct, fruitful. In this situation, we always keep our mind pleasant and calm. Then our activities are correct. As the result of this path, we understand Sabba Papa Sakaranam, Kusalassa Upasampada, Sacitta Paryodapanam, Etang Buddhana Sasanam. This is the message of the Buddha in short. Sabba Papa Sakaranam, not to do any evil. Kusala Upasampada, doing good activities, wholesome activities. Sachitta Paryodapanam, purifying one's mind. Etang Buddhana Sasanam. This is the message of the all Buddhas who appear in this world. With this understanding, we go forward on the path of purification of our mind. We always go away from evils. Especially, we abstain from 5 negative activities. We practice 5 precepts. Abstaining from taking life, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from foul speech, abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs. These are the qualities that we practice as the result of understanding the karmic law. We know very well, if we do some bad activities with impure mind, we have to suffer. No one likes to get suffering. Everyone who was born in this world likes to live happily and peacefully. In this situation, we abstain from these negative activities. And also, we practice good deeds, kusala upasampada. Having a pure mind, we practice good activities. Especially, according to Buddhism, we can practice 3 meritorious deeds for our inner peace. Dhanamyam punya kiriyavattu, Silamayam punya kiriyavattu, Bhavanamayam punya kiriyavattu. Practicing generosity, practicing virtue, and practicing meditation. These are the 3 meritorious deeds that we can practice to purify our mind. The more we practice these 3 activities, the more we can see the beauty of our mind, since we purify our mind. When we practice generosity, we are able to overcome greed or attachment. Attachment is one of the reasons that we suffer. When our mind is generous, when we offer something to others, at the moment our mind is so pure and calm. We are so happy. That is why the Buddha says, Piti mudarang vindati data. He who has a generous heart gains a lot of happiness. Practicing generosity is one of the ways how we can develop our inner peace. Our mind is so pure and calm whenever we practice generosity. That is the very first activity, meritorious deed that we can practice on the path of liberation. The second meritorious act, wholesome activity, is that virtue or moral conduct. As I mentioned earlier, practicing 5 precepts is the way how we fulfill sila or virtue. If we can practice 5 precepts, actually we have no fear, no doubt in this society. And also, he who practices 5 precepts gives the fearlessness to the world. Buddha says it, averandeti, abhyapajandeti. He who practices virtue gives fearlessness, loving kindness to the world. That is very important. Everyone likes in this world to live without fear, without doubt. When we practice 5 precepts, this is the way how we give the fearlessness to the world. As the result of this practicing, we can see the results. When we practice 5 precepts, we are proud of our life. We have no mistakes, no regrets in our life. Nobody can criticize us because of our correct character. We are so happy. We can face to any society, any place, without fear, without doubt. That is a good advantage of practicing virtue or moral conduct. Sila. That is why the Supreme Buddha always encourages us to practice 5 precepts, Sila or virtue. With this understanding, we can see the results of practicing Dhamma. Dhamma, the Buddha's message, has some qualities. Swakkahato Bhagavata Dhammo. Dhamma is well expounded by the Blessed One. Swakkahato. Sanditiko. Directly visible. Akaliko. Immediately effective. Ehipasiko. Calling one to come and see. Opanayiko. Leading onwards. And Pacchatang Veditabbo Vinyu, to be personally realized by the wise. These are the qualities of the Dhamma, what the Supreme Buddha explained. Swakkahato. Swakkahata means well explained. Adi Kalyanang, Madhye Kalyanang, Pariyosane Kalyanang. The beginning is excellent. The middle is excellent. The end also excellent. What is the beginning? Beginning is the Sila. What is the middle? Middle is the Samadhi or concentration, tranquility. And the end, Panya or wisdom. Buddha explained these 3 qualities that we can practice to go forward on the path of liberation. And also, Sanditiko, directly visible. When we practice generosity and virtue, we can see the results in this immediate life. And also we can see our mind day by day gradually develops. And also we can see the purification of our mind. Since when we practice generosity, we can overcome attachment or greed. And also when we practice virtue or Panchasila, we are able to overcome anger. And also when we practice next quality, Bhavana, meditation. Meditation means mental culture, purification of our mind. Especially, Buddha explains the importance of practicing loving kindness meditation for the development of our spirituality. In the mundane level, Buddha says the highest quality, the highest meritorious act that we can practice to develop our spirituality is that practicing loving kindness meditation. Contemplating on thus, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. We again and again contemplate on this quality, mental state. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. The more we contemplate on this intention or thoughts, we can understand little by little we are able to overcome anger. Anger is one of the reasons that disturb our peace of mind. That is why the Supreme Buddha explains very clearly, he who wishes to attain the peace of mind should practice loving kindness meditation. Yantan santam padang abhisamecha sabbe sattha bhavantu sukhitatta. He who wants to attain the peace of mind should practice loving kindness meditation again and again. As the result of this path, we can see gradually we can overcome stress from our mind. Especially, we can overcome anger. Anger is one of the reasons that disturb our peace of mind. In the current society, according to current psychology and counseling, they recommend us to practice loving kindness meditation for stress management. since we mostly suffer because of anger. If we can practice this path, we can see the beauty of our life. The duration of practicing loving kindness meditation completely decides our inner peace, happiness, spiritual development. With this understanding, when we keep our mind pure and calm, according to Buddha's message, we especially practice 3 meritorious deeds: dana, generosity, sila, virtue, and meditation or bhavana, loving kindness meditation. When we do these 3 things, we can see very special result in our life. A lot of blessings happen in our life as the result of this path. Those qualities we can see in the discourse of blessings, Mangala Sutta. When we keep our mind pure and calm, we gradually practice blessings in our life. What they are? Dhanancha Dhammacharyacha. Practicing generosity is a supreme blessing. Dhammacharya. Living according to Dhamma is a supreme blessing. Mata Pitu Pattanam. Helping our parents or taking care of our parents is a supreme blessing. Katanyuta. Gratitude is a supreme blessing. Kalena Dhamma Savanam, Kalena Dhamma Sakaccha. Listening to Dhamma in the proper time is a supreme blessing. Discussing Dhamma in the proper time is a supreme blessing. We can see these results. It means our daily life is filled with these blessings that we do. We don't find blessings from outside. We always make blessings within us, purifying our mind. The more we purify our mind, the more these blessings happen in our life. And also we can develop the inner peace. Buddha says, if a person does something with a pure mind, physically, verbally, or mentally in the morning, that morning is a good morning. In the world history, first time Buddha has explained good morning. Sometimes you may think that good morning has come to the east from the west. Actually, the Supreme Buddha has explained good morning before 2500 years. Buddha says, if a person can do good activities, having a pure mind, physically, verbally, and mentally in the morning, that morning is a good morning. Supubbanha. And also Buddha says, if a person can do some good activities with a pure mind, the daytime, that daytime is a supreme daytime. Sumajjanha, good afternoon. Good afternoon is also explained by the Blessed One. Not only that, Buddha says, if a person can do some good activities with a pure mind in an evening, that evening is a good evening. Susayanha. Supubbanha, good morning. Sumajjanha, good afternoon. And Susayanha, good evening. These 3 things are explained by the Blessed One. We are so fortunate. If we can succeed our morning, afternoon, and evening, it means we can succeed our day. If we are able to succeed the day, it means our entire life is successful. It means we have no suffering, no sorrow, no lamentation, since we have purified our mind from negative thoughts. Especially, we have purified our mind from greed and anger. And also, the highest quality that we can practice is that in the mundane level, practice in tranquility or concentration, samadhi. Using a samadhi technique, tranquil meditation technique, if we can practice a meditation technique such as Buddhanusati, the contemplation of the Buddha, Dhammanusati, the contemplation of the Dhamma, Silanusati, the recollection of the virtue, Anapanasati, breathing meditation, Metta Bhavana, loving kindness meditation. If we can practice a meditation technique, gradually we are able to purify our mind. Especially, we are able to overcome negative thoughts and hindrances, 5 hindrances from our mind. They are sensual desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and worry, skeptical doubts. These are the hindrances that cover our inner peace. If we can overcome these negative thoughts, hindrances from our mind, reducing these negativities, hindrances from our mind, we are able to see the beauty of our life. If a person can attain jhana, he is like a Brahma being, having a human life. If he can practice samatha bhavana as jhana level, we can make a Brahma realm in this immediate life, human life. That is very important. The Supreme Buddha has explained the clear path how we develop our mind to the maximum level. As the result of having good friendship, Kalyana Mitta, when we listen to Dhamma, we can understand the path how we overcome suffering. As the result of this path, every day we do good activities and also we purify our mind from negative thoughts. As the result of this practice, we are confident in our next life. We have no fear about our next life, since we know very well after we die, we never fall into hell. Not to go into hell is a very huge assurance that a person can gain in this life. As the result of practicing the Buddha's message, when we develop our qualities, generosity, virtue, meditation, loving kindness meditation, and also if we always keep our mind pure and calm, as soon as we end our life, we can receive a blissful life. We never fall into hell. We have a confidence that we go to a blissful life as the result of this practice. Actually, this is a very huge result, advantage that we receive throughout practicing the path of the Buddha explained. As the result of this path, we go to the next level, understanding the dependent origination or Paticcasamuppada. Here we understand how suffering arises and also how suffering ceases. When we see something, when we hear something, when we listen to something, when we contact something through our senses, the very first experience is neither wholesome nor unwholesome. That is neither pleasant nor unpleasant. That is just a result of our previous actions. The very first experience is neutral, but if we don't know this reality, in the second experience, we take it as my, me, mine. This is the nature of ignorance or delusion. When we see something, when we experience something through our senses, the very first experience is neutral, but immediately that first experience arises and ceases. When we recognize something, the very first experience has ceased. We recognize everything through our mind consciousness, mano-vijnana. If you have this understanding, we always try to keep our mind in mindfulness. Mindfulness is the best friend of our life. Whenever we are away from mindfulness, when we experience something, our mind is fixed in outside material world. Since we don't know, the first experience has already ceased. If you are knowledgeable, mindful and wise, as soon as we understand something through the objects of our senses, we immediately understand, now I recognize these forms and other things through my mind consciousness, mano-vijnana. The very first experience has already ceased. As the result of this practice, we can overcome suffering. We can make a refuge within us. And also, we practice this path again and again. What is the path? In short, practice in mindfulness. And with details, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Virtue, concentration, and wisdom. And also, again we can say it as details. Ariya Attangika Magga, the Noble Eightfold Path. Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha, so on. Right understanding, Samma Ditti. What is the Samma Ditti? We understand the Four Noble Truths. The very first experience is the Dukkha Satya, the noble truth of suffering. And also, if we are ignorant, we attach to the world. Then we come to the Samudaya Satya, the noble truth of the origin of suffering. Samudaya Satya means we are in the samsaric circle. Avidya paccaya sankhara, sankhara paccaya vijnanam, vijnana paccaya nama rupam, so on. We are in the samsaric circle. Whenever we are ignorant, we end with suffering. Jati paccaya jara marana soka parideva. As the result of jati of birth, we have to face sorrow, lamentation, decay, death, and illness. This is the nature of the samsaric circle. And also, if we can overcome ignorance completely, avidyāyatveva asesa viraga nirodha sankhara nirodho. With the complete cessation of ignorance, mental formations cease. As the result of the cessation of mental formations, vijnana or consciousness ceases. As the result of the cessation of mind or consciousness, which consists of ignorance, nama rupa nirodha, mentality and corporeality cease. This is the nature of the cessation of suffering, nirodha satya. And also magga satya, the path that leads to getting rid of suffering, the Noble Eightfold Path. With this understanding, we go forward, samma sankappa, right intention, samma vacha, right speech, samma ajiva, right livelihood, samma kammanta, right action, samma vayama, right effort, samma sati, right mindfulness, and samma samadhi, right concentration. These are the qualities that we practice according to the path of liberation. We are confident in what the Buddha taught, what the Blessed One explained. He explained the nature of the karma, the karmic law. As the result of this understanding, we always keep our mind away from greed and anger, practicing 3 meritorious deeds: generosity, virtue, and loving kindness meditation. And also, with the understanding of the Paticca the dependent origination, we understand the Four Noble Truths, Dukkha, Samudaya, Nirodha, Magga. And also, we go forward on the path of liberation, the Noble Eightfold Path. The very important thing among the 8 factors of the path, the Noble Eightfold Path, is that mindfulness. Mindfulness is the center. When we are confident in Buddha's message, our inner motivation gradually increases, and also we practice mindfulness, sati. We keep our mind always pure and calm. We are aware of our body and mind. Whenever we live in the present moment with mindfulness, then we can understand when some thoughts come to our mind, we immediately understand what the thoughts that are in our mind. When our mind is lustful, we immediately understand now my mind has lust. When my mind has no lust, we understand now my mind is free from lust. When my mind is angry, we immediately understand my mind has anger. When my mind is ignorant, we understand now my mind has ignorance. We receive this result because of practicing mindfulness. We always keep our mind in the present moment, and also we do everything mindfully and wisely. As the result of this path, we understand our entire life is the present moment. That present moment consists of 5 things, 5 aggregates: Rupa, form; Vedana, feeling; Sanya, perception; Sankhara, mental formations; and Vijnana, consciousness. Every moment these 5 things arise, and they immediately cease when conditions cease. This is the nature of our life. As soon as we see something, we hear something, we taste something, we smell something, we feel something, we immediately understand the very first experience, the very first 5 aggregates have already ceased. We reflect on impermanence, arising and ceasing of 5 aggregates. As the result of this path, we are completely in mindfulness. We know very well, whenever we are in mindfulness, we are away from suffering, since we are near the Buddha. Whenever we are away from mindfulness, it means we are away from the Buddha and we are suffering. Nobody likes to suffer. Everyone who was born in this life likes to live happily. If we want to live happily, we have to overcome greed, anger, and delusion. These are the main defilements, unwholesome mental states that disturb our peace of mind. These are the real enemies who disturb our mind, who steal our inner qualities. we never give any chance to anyone brings us suffering. And we always try to defeat these enemies. Actually, we can defeat hundreds of enemies outside. It is not a real war, victory. The real victory is that defeating our inner enemies who are negative thoughts, especially greed, anger, and delusion. When we practice mindfulness, keeping our mind in the present moment as a part of the Noble Eightfold Path, we always keep our mind pure and calm, since as soon as negative thoughts come to our mind, we immediately understand those negative thoughts. And especially when we reflect on impermanence of five aggregates, arising and ceasing of five aggregates, we are free from outside material world. And also we understand the present mind consciousness or mental formations are also arise and cease at the moment. When we contemplate on something, that mental state also arises and ceases at the moment. Since it didn't come to the present from the past, it will not go to future from the present. It arises and ceases at the moment. We contemplate on this reality again and again. In one side, we reflect on the five aggregates of the previous experience which already has ceased, and also we contemplate on the present moment, present mind and mental formations of four aggregates: Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Feeling, Sanya perception, Sankhara mental formations, and Vijnana consciousness. These four things are the present mental state. These four things every moment arise and cease. This is the way how we reflect on the present moment. In one side, we reflect on five aggregates which happened in the past, and also we reflect on the present moment, the present four aggregates as the result of this path. In one side, we release from the outside world, and also on the other side, we release from inside too, inside mind and mental objects. As the result of this path, gradually we are able to overcome craving, ill will, and delusion from our mind. We completely live in the present moment, and also we practice the Noble Eightfold Path as our body parts. Since we know very well, the 8 factors of the Noble Eightfold Path are that the 8 mindfulness steps of happiness. If you want to achieve the real happiness, this is the correct path that the Blessed One explained. Then we do everything mindfully. When we think something, we check that whether I practice Samma Sankappa. When I speak something, I immediately recognize that whether I practice Samma Vacha, right speech. When we do something physically, we understand I practice Samma Kammanta, right actions. When we do a job, we understand that I do my career, my job according to what the Blessed One explained. And also we practice Samma Vayama, right effort. It means we always go away from unwholesome activities and we practice wholesome activities as much as we can. And also Samma Sati, right mindfulness. We practice mindfulness like our breathing in and out. We give the priority to practice mindfulness like we breathe in and out. If we want to live frequently, we have to breathe in and out. Without breathing in and out, we have no life. Like that, we understand without practicing mindfulness, I have no spiritual life. I have no inner peace. I have no spiritual happiness. Therefore, we do everything giving the priority to practice mindfulness according to what the Supreme Buddha explained. As the result of practicing this path, we always live mindfully. At the same time, when mind gains concentration, we always reflect on impermanence, which is Vipassana Bhavana, insight meditation. When we practice this path, we can live in this society like a lotus flower. The lotus flower originates in mud, but it doesn't touch mud. It comes over mud and water. It blooms with good smell and beauty. We are also like that. We originate in the common society, but we don't come to them with defilements. We always free our mind from negative thoughts. Physically we are with them, but mentally we are in the higher realm with spirituality, purifying our mind. As the result of this path, we are able to live with mindfulness and wisdom among the people, those who are angry, those who are lustful, and those who are ignorant. Among the people, those who are angry, we can live without anger. This is our success. And also, we can live without seeking sensual pleasure. Among the people, those who are seeking sensual pleasure. This is our success. And also, we are able to live without ignorance among the people, those who are ignorant. This is our success. As a result of this path, we can see the result of the Dhamma. Directly visible, immediately effective. Whenever we live mindfully and wisely, at the moment our mind has no defilements. Our mind is free from defilements. Always we are free from negative thoughts. It means we are like lotus flowers. And also we can do most service to the world with a pure mind. When we realize and understand the Buddha's message, we understand our life, and also we can give a very highly appreciation and value to our life. And also with this understanding, we try to help to the world with the Dhamma. We give the highest gift to the world. Sabba dahanan Dhamma danan jinati. The gift of Dhamma excels all other gifts. This is the highest generosity that we can practice. When we get the results throughout practicing Dhamma, we always practice Dhamma Dana, Dhamma generosity. We bring this message to the world, bringing the happiness to the world. We can see the results. Day by day, we develop our happiness, and also we give the patch to the world for our inner peace, for their peace. And also we can make a very beautiful place in this world, and also we can help others, and also we can live happily and peacefully with this practice, and also we can transfer these merits to other beings too with our spiritual mind. This is the result we receive throughout practicing the Buddha's message. When we conclude this sermon, first we understand the nature of our mind. Mind is the very main thing that decides our happiness or suffering. When our mind is impure, the results are negative. When our mind is pure, results are fruitful. With this understanding, we practice generosity, virtue, and loving kindness meditation. And also, with the understanding of the Four Noble Truths, we practice Sila, Samadhi, Panya, virtue, concentration, and wisdom. That virtue or discipline consists of wisdom. Dittinca anupagama silava dassanena sampanno. We should spend a virtuous life without going to extremes. The Buddha says very clearly, if a person knows the arising of five aggregates, he doesn't go to the extreme of negative. And also, if a person knows the cessation of five aggregates, he doesn't go to the extreme of negativities or nihilism. With this understanding, we are able to attain the final bliss of liberation as the result of practicing concentration and wisdom. Here especially it is very important to understand mindfulness. With this understanding, let's try to practice this path. As a result of practicing this path, may all of us have a blissful life, and finally, may all of us attain the final bliss of liberation. Dukkhaṃ pantāya nirdukkhaṃ bhayaṃ pantāya nirbhayaṃ sokhaṃ pantāya nissokhaṃ hontu sabbe pipānino. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.